Today, I have 1 hour of Naruto lore for you. Let's get started with the 7 level of ninjas ranks in Naruto. Level 1. Academy Student, the Foundation. Academy students are the lowest level in the ninja system. They're not officially ninja yet. They're still learning the fundamentals of what it means to be a shinobi. Students typically enter the academy around age 5 or 6 and spend several years training, with the duration depending on age, talent, and village curriculum. The Ninja Academy was established early in Konoha's history to formalize shinobi education, though its exact founder isn't officially stated in canon. Before this system existed, shinobi clans trained their own children individually. The academy standardized ninja training across the village and created a pathway for anyone to become a ninja, not just those born into shinobi families. Academy students learn basic chakra control, which is the foundation of all ninjutsu. They study hand seals, practice with weapons like kunai and shuriken, and train their bodies through taijutsu exercises. Ninjutsu class teaches them chakra manipulation and basic techniques like the transformation technique and clone technique. Taijutsu class involves physical conditioning and sparring. Genjutsu class focuses on recognizing illusions and breaking free from them. The graduation exam varies by village. In Konohagakure, students must pass a written test covering ninja history and theory, plus a practical exam demonstrating proficiency in basic techniques. After graduation, students are placed into 3-person squads led by a jonin, who conducts an additional evaluation before officially approving them as genin. Not every student masters everything at the academy. Naruto struggled with the basic clone technique, but passed the exam after learning the forbidden shadow clone jutsu from the Scroll of Seals that same day. Rock Lee had no talent for ninjutsu or genjutsu, but excelled at taijutsu. The academy recognizes that ninja have different strengths. Some villages had brutal graduation requirements. Kirigakure once forced academy students to fight to the death. Zabuza gained fame by slaughtering an entire class during that era. The practice was later abolished. Level 2. Genin, the Rookie Ninja. Genin are the lowest official rank in the shinobi force. When academy students graduate and pass their jonin instructor's evaluation, they become genin and begin taking low-ranked missions that support their village and help them gain experience. Fresh genin are organized into 3-person teams under a jonin leader. This structure teaches teamwork and gives new ninja practical experience under the guidance of an elite shinobi. The bonds formed in these teams often last a lifetime. Team 7, Team 8, and Team 10 all maintained their connections years later. Genin primarily handle D-rank missions, which are low-risk jobs like babysitting, farming, finding lost pets, and general manual labor. These missions teach responsibility and help genin understand that ninja work isn't always exciting. Experienced genin can take C-rank missions, which involve some risk, like escorting clients or dealing with bandits, though combat with other ninja is unlikely. Mission pay varies by rank and difficulty, though specific amounts are never disclosed in canon. The power difference among genin is huge. Some genin are barely stronger than academy students, while others have skills that rival chunin or even jonin. Naruto and Sasuke technically remained genin throughout most of the series, despite having power levels far beyond that rank. Genin can be promoted to chunin in 2 ways. The most common path is the chunin exams, organized periodically by the major villages, often as joint events, though the frequency changes over time. Alternatively, a village's Kage can directly promote a genin based on merit, though this is rare. Some ninja never advance beyond genin and become career genin, who continue taking missions at this rank for their entire lives. Level 3. Chunin, the Squad Leaders. Chunin are ninja who have demonstrated maturity, leadership ability, and tactical prowess. The name literally means middle ninja and represents the bulk of a village's military force. Passing the Chunin exams requires more than raw power. The exams traditionally consist of 3 phases: a written test that evaluates information gathering and decision-making under pressure, a survival test that assesses field skills, and tournament-style battles that judge combat ability and strategic thinking. The exams aren't just about winning fights. Judges watch how candidates handle stress, make decisions, and work with or against others. Not everyone who wins their tournament match gets promoted. Shikamaru Nara became a Chunin after surrendering his first match because the judges recognized his brilliant tactical mind and leadership qualities. The exams evaluate whether someone can lead a team, not just whether they can fight. Chunin handle C-rank and B-rank missions, which involve higher stakes like espionage, escort missions with potential combat, and dealing with enemy ninja. Chunin are considered fully fledged ninja who no longer need constant supervision from higher ranks. Many Chunin become academy instructors, passing their knowledge to the next generation. Iruka Umino taught Naruto's generation and became a beloved figure in the village. Other Chunin serve as team leaders for Genin squads. The Chunin rank opens doors to specialized training like medical ninjutsu, sensory abilities, or interrogation techniques. Some Chunin never advance to Jonin, either by choice or because they lack the necessary skills. This isn't a failure. Chunin perform crucial roles in their village's operations. They lead teams, teach students, and handle the majority of missions that keep the village running. Level 4. Jonin, the elite captains. Jonin are highly experienced ninja who serve as military captains. The name means high ninja, and the rank represents the elite tier of a village's forces. There's no formal Jonin exam. Promotion usually comes through experience, recommendation, or exceptional service. Promotions to Jonin are typically approved by the Kage or senior leadership based on merit and performance. Many Jonin are proficient in multiple elemental chakra natures, but it's not a strict requirement. This versatility makes them adaptable to different combat situations. Many Jonin develop signature techniques that define their fighting style, like Kakashi Hatake's Lightning Blade or Might Guy's 8 Gates. Jonin are assigned A rank and S rank missions, which are the most dangerous and important tasks a village handles. These missions involve facing other elite ninja, infiltrating enemy territory, assassinating high-value targets, and protecting critical assets. Experienced Jonin like Kakashi can handle S-rank missions solo. Some Jonin serve as team leaders for 3-person Genin squads, guiding new ninja through their early careers. This mentorship role is crucial. The Jonin instructor teaches teamwork, survival skills, and the values that define their village. There's a special rank called Tokubetsu Jonin, which sits between Chunin and Jonin. These ninja have Jonin-level skills in a specific area, but lack the all-around abilities of a full Jonin. Ibiki Morino specializes in interrogation, while other Tokubetsu Jonin focus on tracking or intelligence gathering. Jonin represent the backbone of a village's military power. They're experienced enough to handle almost any situation and skilled enough to train the next generation. Before we get to the legendary ranks and village leaders, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Level 5. Anbu, the Black Ops. ANBU stands for Ansatsu Senjutsu Tokushu Butai, which translates to Special Assassination and Tactical Squad. In English, they're known as ANBU Black Ops. These are covert operatives who handle the darkest missions for their village. ANBU are handpicked directly by the Kage. Age, gender, previous rank, and background don't matter, only skill and personality. There's no stated age requirement for ANBU. Membership recruits are chosen based on skill, not age. The darkness involved in ANBU missions means not every skilled ninja is suited for this role. Itachi Uchiha joined ANBU around age 11 and rose to captain soon after, an unusually young age for the position. Some talented children are scouted as early as the academy. ANBU wear porcelain animal masks to conceal their identities and use code names instead of their real names. Konohagakure ANBU masks feature animals like cats, dogs, birds, and more menacing creatures. Their standard uniform consists of black clothing, gray flak jackets, metal arm guards, and a spiral tattoo on their shoulder. There are no formal ranks within ANBU. Leadership is based on merit and experience. Squad leaders command teams and report directly to the Kage. Different divisions focus on specific tasks, like protection, investigation, stealth, and assassination. ANBU missions include assassinating missing nin who betrayed the village, tracking enemy movements, gathering intelligence through infiltration, interrogating prisoners, and conducting covert operations that can never be officially acknowledged. They also serve as personal bodyguards for the Kage and other important officials. ANBU training focuses on stealth, assassination, and secrecy, though there's no mention of self-destruction protocols in canon. Root was an independent organization founded by Danzo Shimura, separate from standard ANBU command, but operating under the same secrecy. Root operated in secret even from regular ANBU and focused on missions Danzo deemed necessary for Konoha's survival, though his methods were often questionable. Famous ANBU members include Itachi Uchiha, who joined to monitor his clan before ultimately being forced to massacre them, Kakashi Hatake, who joined after his friend Rin died and struggled with the darkness of ANBU work, and Yamato, who survived Orochimaru's experiments and gained wood release abilities. Level 6. Sannin, the Legendary 3. Sannin isn't a rank, it's a title given to 3 specific ninja: Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru. The word literally means legendary 3 ninja and refers to the greatest shinobi of their generation. The 3 were teammates as genin under the 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Despite their different personalities, Jiraiya, the goofball, Orochimaru, the prodigy, and Tsunade, the strong-willed princess, they trained together and became powerful ninja under Hiruzen's guidance. Their summoning techniques formed a symbolic 3-way deadlock, with toads, slugs, and snakes countering each other in battle. They earned the legendary Sannin title during the Second Shinobi World War after surviving Hanzo of the Salamander's assault. During a battle in Omegakure, they fought against Hanzo of the Salamander, a legendary ninja feared throughout the shinobi world. Hanzo killed every other Konohagakure ninja in that battle, but Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru survived. Impressed that they lived through his assault, Hanzo dubbed them Konoha's legendary Sannin as both recognition and reward. The Sannin are based on characters from the Japanese folktale Jiraiya Goketsu Monogatari. In the original story, Jiraiya uses toad magic, Tsunade uses slug magic, and Orochimaru uses snake magic. Naruto's creator incorporated these elements directly. Jiraiya summons toads, Tsunade summons slugs, and Orochimaru summons snakes. Each Sannin mastered their summoning technique. Jiraiya could summon Gamabunta, the giant toad boss, and trained at Mount Myoboku to learn Sage Mode. Tsunade could summon Katsuyu, a massive slug capable of healing entire armies. Orochimaru summoned Manda, a giant snake with a vicious temperament. The war affected each Sannin differently. Tsunade lost her younger brother and boyfriend during the conflict, and developed a fear of blood that made her abandon ninja life for years. Jiraiya stayed in Omegakure to help war orphans, which led him to train Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan, the future leaders of the Akatsuki. Orochimaru witnessed so much death that he became obsessed with immortality and started conducting illegal experiments. All 3 Sannin were considered for Hokage at different times. Orochimaru applied to become 4th Hokage but was rejected in favor of Minato Namikaze. Jiraiya was offered the position multiple times but always refused, preferring to travel and train students. Tsunade eventually became 5th Hokage after the 3rd Hokage died during Orochimaru's invasion of Konoha. The Sannin's power level placed them far above normal Jonin. Jiraiya's Sage Mode made him one of the strongest ninja alive. Tsunade's creation rebirth technique and superhuman strength made her nearly impossible to kill in battle. Orochimaru's pursuit of immortality led him to master forbidden jutsu that allowed him to transfer his consciousness between bodies. The title Legendary Sannin remains unique to them. No other ninja have ever carried the name. Jiraiya was killed by pain while investigating the Akatsuki, Orochimaru died and was later resurrected through Sasuke, and Tsunade survived the 4th Shinobi War and eventually retired. Drop a comment below with who your favorite Sannin is: Team Jiraiya, Team Tsunade, or Team Orochimaru. Level 7, Kage, the Village Shadows. Kage is the highest rank in the ninja world. The word means shadow and refers to the leader of one of the 5 great shinobi countries' hidden villages. These 5 leaders are collectively known as the 5 Kage. Each Kage has a title based on their nation's element. The Hokage leads Konohagakure in the land of fire. The Kazekage leads Sunagakure in the land of wind. The Mizukage leads Kirigakure in the land of water. The Raikage leads Kumogakure in the land of lightning. The Tsuchikage leads Iwagakure in the land of earth. A Kage leads the village and oversees its key operations, though many responsibilities are shared with advisors and specialized departments. They handle diplomacy with other nations, command their military forces during war, and represent their village in international affairs. The Kage stands equal to the feudal lord of their country in political power. A Kage is often one of the strongest ninja in their village, though political skill and leadership also play key roles. In Konoha, Hokage selection varies, sometimes chosen by the previous Hokage, other times appointed through council or daimyo approval. The Raikage title has occasionally stayed within one family, but it's not an inherited position. The 3rd Raikage chose his son to become 4th Raikage many years before his death, ensuring a smooth transition of power. Former Kage often retain honorific use of their title, though they hold no official authority once they retire. The 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, retired and passed the position to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. When Minato died sealing the 9 tails, Hiruzen returned to active duty after Minato's death because no suitable successor was ready, resuming the role of third Hokage until a new Hokage could be chosen. The third Hokage was considered the strongest of the 5 Kage during his time. Years later, Naruto Uzumaki as 7th Hokage was recognized the same way. There's no tradition linking Jinchuriki to Kage families. Any connection is purely circumstantial. Gaara was the 4th Kazekage's son and the One-Tails Jinchuriki. Killer Bee was the 4th Raikage's adoptive brother and the 8-Tails Jinchuriki. The 5 Kage meet mainly during times of crisis or alliance summits, such as the 4th Shinobi World War. A Kage summit, where all 5 leaders meet, occurs only during times of crisis that threaten the entire Shinobi world. Naruto Uzumaki became 7th Hokage and represents everything the rank should embody. He grew from the village's pariah into its greatest hero, proved his strength by defeating godlike enemies, and earned the respect of every nation. As Hokage, Naruto works to maintain peace among the villages while protecting his own people. The path from academy student to Kage represents the journey every ninja dreams of. It takes decades of training, countless missions, unshakable determination, and the will to protect others even at the cost of your own life. The Kage stands at the peak of the ninja world, the shadow who protects their village from the darkness. From academy students learning the basics to Kage leading entire nations, the ninja ranking system in Naruto created structure in a world of chaos. The official shinobi ranks range from academy student to Kage, while ANBU and Sannin serve as special roles outside the standard hierarchy. Academy students showed that everyone starts somewhere. Genin proved that the rookie stage is where bonds form and real ninja life begins. Chunin demonstrated that leadership and maturity matter as much as combat skill. Jonin represented the elite few who master multiple abilities and guide the next generation. ANBU operated in shadows, handling missions too dark for regular forces. The Sannin stood as legends, whose power surpassed normal rankings, and the Kage bore the ultimate responsibility, protecting their village and leading their people through peace and war. Every rank served a purpose. Support roles, combat specialists, teachers, leaders, the ninja world needed all of them. Naruto's journey from dead last academy student to 7th Hokage proved that anyone can climb these ranks with enough determination and the will to never give up. The ranking system wasn't perfect. Talented ninja like Naruto and Sasuke remained genin despite having power beyond most jonin. The ranking system promoted ninja based on exams, field performance, or direct appointment depending on the situation, but it provided structure, created opportunities for advancement, and ensured villages had skilled leaders at every level. These ranks shaped the shinobi world for generations. They determined who trained who led missions, and who ultimately guided the future of their village. From the academy to the Kage's office, every ninja walked a path defined by these 7 levels. Next up, the 10 levels of tailed beasts. Level 1, Shukaku, the one tail. Shukaku is probably the tailed beast we know the most about, and that's because of Gaara. This raccoon dog creature was sent by the Sage of Six Paths to protect a desert temple. That desert eventually became the Land of Wind and the Hidden Sand Village. Shukaku has a rough history. The first Kazekage tried to use him as a bargaining chip at the first Kage summit to get more money for his village. This plan failed badly, and the Kazekage got assassinated for being greedy. After that, Shukaku was sealed inside a priest named Bunpuku. But instead of letting him live normally, they trapped both Bunpuku and Shukaku in a giant tea kettle under constant guard. The people of the Sand Village thought Shukaku corrupted Bunpuku into an evil person, but Bunpuku was actually a good man who held no hate. Over time, he and Shukaku became friends. Shukaku even remembered Bunpuku's words about teaching the world acceptance and heart. This is huge because most tailed beasts were treated like monsters, but Bunpuku showed Shukaku kindness. After Bunpuku died, Shukaku was sealed into other Jinchuriki. One of them inspired the third Kazekage to create his iron sand technique by watching how the Jinchuriki used Shukaku's powers. Eventually, Shukaku ended up in Gaara. Personality-wise, Shukaku is childish, impatient, and mean. He has a temper and doesn't get along well with others. But this makes sense when you think about being trapped in a tea kettle and then sealed in people who barely slept. Shukaku's powers are centered around sand manipulation. He gives his Jinchuriki magnet release, which lets them control sand. This is why Gaara can still control sand. Even after Shukaku was pulled out of him, the blessing remained. Shukaku's entire body is made of sand, so cutting off his arm does nothing. He can just reform it. He can increase the density of his sand to make it incredibly hard, strong enough to block a Susanoo sword enhanced with Sage Chakra. He's talented with sealing jutsu, capable of sealing entire Susanoos. He can fire high-velocity wind bullets that level forests. The curse markings on his body can bind enemies who touch his sand. One more thing about Shukaku, he can take over his Jinchuriki's mind when they fall asleep. This caused Gaara to develop severe insomnia and made him unstable. Shukaku is powerful, crafty, and way smarter than people give him credit for. Level 2, Matatabi, the Two Tails. Matatabi is the complete opposite of Shukaku. While Shukaku is mean and impatient, Matatabi is polite and respectful. Matatabi is a two-tailed cat covered in blue flames, designed after Japanese folklore about burning cats that collect evil souls. The Sage of Six Paths sent Matatabi to protect a swampy area full of dense grass. Hashirama eventually captured Matatabi and sold her to the Land of Lightning. She stayed there so long that there's a mural of both Matatabi and the Eight Tails behind the Falls of Truth, where Jinchuriki train. Matatabi's only known Jinchuriki is Yugito Ni, who got Matatabi sealed inside her when she was just 2 years old. Yugito trained hard to become close with Matatabi, and they developed a strong bond. Matatabi's main power is fire. She can create massive fireballs and coat herself in blue flames. Being a cat makes her one of the fastest and most agile tailed beasts, despite being huge. She can create tailed beast bombs like all the others, but her fire-based attacks are what make her special. Matatabi is calm and thoughtful. She doesn't rush into situations and treats others with respect. This personality probably comes from not being abused as much as some other tailed beasts. The Land of Lightning treated their Jinchuriki better than most villages, which let Matatabi develop a more peaceful nature. Level 3, Isobu, the Three Tails. Isobu is a giant turtle with a spiky shell, and he's had one of the roughest lives of any tailed beast. The sage sent him to protect a misty lake that became the Land of Water. Hashirama caught him and gave him to the Hidden Mist village. Isobu's first known Jinchuriki was Rin, Kakashi, and Obito's teammate. But Rin didn't get Isobu the normal way. The Hidden Mist village, being controlled by Obito in secret, kidnapped Rin, sealed Isobu inside her, and sent her back to the Leaf village as a weapon. They wanted her to go berserk and destroy the village. Rin knew this plan, so she had Kakashi kill her to save everyone. This moment awakened both Obito and Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan. After Rin died, Isobu's chakra eventually reformed somewhere else. That's what happens when a Jinchuriki dies. The tailed beast just reincarnates later. Isobu ended up sealed in Yagura, the fourth Mizukage. Yagura became a perfect Jinchuriki, which means he had full control over Isobu's power. But Yagura was under Obito's genjutsu, making him cruel and bloodthirsty. Because of all this trauma, Isobu is very timid and quiet. He gets talked over at tailed beast meetings and is afraid of people. Can you blame him? Isobu has the most diverse set of abilities of any tailed beast. He can summon and control coral that grows and binds enemies. He's the fastest swimmer since he's the only aquatic tailed beast. He can create a hallucinogenic mist that forces people to face their deepest fears and insecurities. Isobu can roll into a ball and spin at enemies like a living boulder covered in spikes. His shell is incredibly hard, making him nearly invulnerable to attacks. His only weak spot is his eyes, so he keeps one eye closed at all times. The craziest ability Isobu has is space-time ninjutsu. He can open portals to different dimensions, hide there, and then come back whenever he wants. This is the same type of technique Kaguya uses to travel between dimensions. Isobu can also use water-style jutsu at an expert level. Level 4, Son Goku, the Four Tails. Son Goku is a massive red ape with 4 tails, and yes, he's named after Dragon Ball's Goku. But actually, both are named after Sun Wukong, the Monkey King from Chinese mythology who could jump across the universe in one leap. The sage sent Son Goku to a rocky area that became the Land of Earth. But Son Goku moved to a place called the Water Curtain Cave, where he became king of the monkeys. Hashirama caught him and gave him to the Hidden Stone village. Son Goku is the most prideful of all tailed beasts. He brags about his lineage and hates humans because they enslaved and beat him his whole life. but he has deep love for the Sage of Six Paths and respects Naruto because Naruto reminds him of the Sage. He believes apes are smarter than humans. His only known Jinchuriki is Roshi, which is another Dragon Ball reference. Son Goku's signature ability is Lava Release, which combines earth and fire chakra to create lava. He can shoot lava from his mouth and create entire new volcanoes. He's also the most skilled at taijutsu among all tailed beasts, and is physically the strongest. He can pick up and throw Gyuki, one of the largest tailed beasts, with ease. Son Goku can also shoot green flames from his mouth, though this is rarely seen. His combination of physical strength, lava powers, and fighting skill makes him incredibly dangerous in close combat. Level 5, Kokuo the Five Tails. Kokuo is a white horse dolphin hybrid with 5 tails, and he's probably the most reserved of all tailed beasts. The sage sent Kokuo to protect a dense forest that never became one of the 5 great villages, so Kokuo lived in isolation most of his life until Hashirama captured him and gave him to the Hidden Stone. This isolation shaped Kokuo's personality. He barely talks, is very old-fashioned when he does speak, and keeps to himself. But he also has tons of pride as a tailed beast. When he found out Toby controlled him, he was so ashamed that after the war, he went back to his forest to live alone. In fact, Kokuo's desire for solitude is so strong that when Naruto calls a meeting of all tailed beasts to warn them about a threat, Kokuo is one of 3 who don't show up. He just wants to be left alone. Kokuo has the strongest willpower of all tailed beasts. He's the only one who broke out of Toby's control and tried to attack the masked man. That takes incredible mental strength. Kokuo uses the horns on his head to ram enemies at high speed. We see this when he rams Gyuki and actually injures him, but his most important ability is Boil Release, which combines fire and water chakra. Here's where it gets crazy. Kokuo uses Boil Release to increase the temperature of his chakra to a boiling point. This supercharges his physical abilities. His Jinchuriki Han could use steam-based attacks that actually burned Naruto even in his chakra cloak form. Fans realized this is basically how Baryon mode works in Boruto. Increasing your chakra's temperature to boost physical abilities is exactly what Baryon mode does. The difference is Baryon mode permanently expends chakra while Kokuo's version doesn't. This means Han and Kokuo should have been way more powerful than they were shown. Justice for the 5 tails. Level 6. Seiken. The 6 tails. Seiken is a giant white slug with 6 tails, and honestly, he's kind of gross. The sage sent him to a humid cave area. Hashirama caught him and gave him to the Hidden Mist village. Seiken's only known Jinchuriki is Utakata. We don't know much about Seiken's personality, except he speaks in a high-pitched voice and is pretty reserved. When he took over Utakata's body to kill his master and save Utakata's life, he immediately retreated back inside afterward. He didn't try to maintain control or cause more damage. This suggests Seiken is friendlier and kinder than more aggressive tailed beasts. Oh, and Seiken has legs, as a slug. With legs, it's weird. Seiken can create tailed beast bombs and produce corrosive liquid and gas that destroys anything it touches. He's very durable. Kurama threw him a great distance, and he took little damage. He can shoot adhesive, sticky goo from his mouth that traps people. In the anime, Seiken can use soap bubble ninjutsu. He shoots bubbles that either explode and hurt people or trap them inside. It's actually one of the most annoying weapons in Shinobi Striker if you play that game. Seiken is just. He exists. He's not the most exciting tailed beast, but his corrosive abilities and durability make him useful in battle. Before we continue to the heavier hitters, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Level 7. Chomei, the 7 tails. Chomei is a massive blue beetle with 6 wings and 1 tail, making 7 total appendages. The sage sent him to protect a mossy forest area. Here's what's cool about Chomei. He's the only tailed beast who doesn't go to one of the 5 great ninja villages. Why? Probably because Hashirama couldn't fly, so he couldn't catch Chomei, who is technically the only flying tailed beast. Instead, Chomei was captured by the village hidden in the waterfalls. Despite not being a great village, they were skilled at making talented shinobi, which is how they caught Chomei. Chomei's only known Jinchuriki is Fu, a girl who was actually friends with Chomei. Chomei is one of the happiest tailed beasts. He thinks he's lucky because he has 7 tails, or wings, or whatever. Because of this, he says the word lucky in conversation constantly. It reflects his optimistic personality. Chomei is designed to look like a rhinoceros beetle. His abilities include flapping his wings to create a blinding powder that affects everyone around him. Obviously, he can fly, making him one of the fastest and most mobile-tailed beasts. His most unique ability is creating a cocoon that protects him from chakra-stealing techniques. If someone tries to absorb his chakra, the cocoon blocks it. This makes Chomei extremely difficult to seal or control through chakra absorption. Chomei's positive attitude and unique abilities make him stand out. While other tailed beasts suffered from constant abuse, Chomei somehow maintained a happy outlook on life. Level 8. Gyuki, the 8 tails. Gyuki is a giant red octopus bull hybrid with 8 tentacles. The sage sent him to protect a mountainous area that became the land of lightning. This is why both Gyuki and Matatabi have such a long history with that region. Gyuki has had it rough when it comes to Jinchuriki. Someone once tried to copy the Gold and Silver brothers, who ate Kurama's flesh and gained his powers, by eating one of Gyuki's tentacles. That person died instantly. The Gold and Silver brothers were descendants of the sage. Normal people can't pull that off. Gyuki is the hardest-tailed beast to be a Jinchuriki of. Blue Bee, Killer Bee's uncle and father all tried to control Gyuki and failed. Gyuki would constantly break free and rampage through the village. The third Raikage would have to fight him to a standstill every single time. Think about that one man fighting the 8 tails until they both collapsed from exhaustion. Fighting Gyuki became a rite of passage for Raikages. The 4th Raikage had to cut off one of Gyuki's horns in battle. Gyuki wasn't controlled until Killer Bee came along at age 5. It took Killer Bee years of training at the Falls of Truth to finally befriend Gyuki. Once they bonded, they became one of the strongest Jinchuriki-tailed beast pairs in history. Gyuki is tough, serious, and battle-hardened from years of fighting Raikages and Jinchuriki. He hates humans because he's been sealed in 4 different people more than any other tailed beast. His attitude only changed after Killer Bee defeated him and showed him respect. Gyuki also dislikes Kurama because Kurama acts like he's better than everyone just because he has 9 tails. Gyuki has called him out for this multiple times. Both Kisame and Kurama admit Gyuki is probably the 2nd strongest tailed beast. He fought 2 tailed beasts at once during the war and held his own. He physically restrained Kurama and stopped a tailed beast bomb with his bare hands. Gyuki is one of the fastest tailed beasts despite his massive size. He blocked Amaterasu with his fist. That's insane reaction speed. He can create tailed beast bombs, but he's the only tailed beast who can supercharge them. His supercharged tailed beast bomb pushed the 10 tails tailed beast bomb back into its own mouth. Being an octopus, Gyuki can create ink to blind enemies or make ink clones. These clones can explode and seal opponents. He's basically a complete package: speed, strength, intelligence, and versatility. Level 9. Kurama, the 9 tails. Kurama is the most famous tailed beast, and for good reason. The sage sent Kurama to protect a forested mountainous area that became the Land of Fire. Kurama gained a reputation as a natural disaster that could destroy entire landscapes. Kurama's history with humans is violent. First, the Gold and Silver brothers were sent to capture him. He ate them, but they survived in his stomach for 2 weeks by eating his flesh. Kurama got acid reflux and threw them up. Now they had his chakra and became pseudo-Jinchuriki. Next, Madara found Kurama, used the Sharingan to control him, put a Susanoo on him, and attacked Hashirama. Their fight was so massive it created the Valley of the End. After that, Hashirama sealed Kurama and his wife Mito Uzumaki. Kurama stayed in Mito for about 70 years. 2 entire Great Ninja Wars happened while Mito just chilled with Kurama sealed inside her. As Mito got old, she chose Kushina Uzumaki to be the next Jinchuriki. Kushina had so much love that it could counteract Kurama's hate. When Kushina gave birth to Naruto, Obito attacked, pulled Kurama out, put him under Genjutsu, and made him attack the leaf. Minato saved Kushina but couldn't save her life. He split Kurama in half, sealing one half in himself, using the Reaper Death Seal and the other half in baby Naruto. Here's the crazy part. Minato split Kurama into good and bad sides. He took the good side to the afterlife and left baby Naruto with the bad side. Minato and good Kurama became perfect Jinchuriki while fighting in limbo forever. Kurama himself is snarky and prideful about being the strongest tailed beast, but his connection with Naruto changed him completely. When the good half came back with Minato's reincarnation, Kurama chose to merge both halves back into Naruto. In Boruto, Kurama literally gave his life, using Baryon mode to protect Naruto, showing he went full circle from hating humans to sacrificing himself for one. Kurama is designed after a kitsune, a nine-tailed fox that protects shrines in Japanese folklore. It's used in tons of anime. Pokemon did it with nine tails. Kurama is obviously the strongest tailed beast. With only half his power, he defeated 5-tailed beasts at the same time. For most of Naruto, we only see half of Kurama because the other half was sealed with Minato. Once both halves combined, Naruto's power skyrocketed. Kurama can manifest outside of Naruto so they can fight side by side. He used Baryon mode, which works like nuclear fission, consuming his own chakra to massively increase speed, strength, and reflexes. Hitting someone in Baryon mode drains their life force too. Kurama is an incredibly powerful sensor, able to detect chakra and negative emotions from huge distances. At full power, he blasted Tonari's stone golem through the moon and into orbit. He can flatten mountains and create tsunamis by swinging one tail. In the anime, Kurama uses wind and fire chakra to create twisters and breathe fire. This thing didn't need more abilities, but it got them anyway. Kurama is just built different. Level 10, the 10 Tails, the Progenitor. The 10 Tails is where it all started. It's not really a tailed beast, it's something way older and more powerful. The 10 Tails is a seed for the Divine Tree. When fed in Otsutsuki, it grows into a tree that absorbs all chakra and life from a planet, eventually bearing a chakra fruit. Kaguya Otsutsuki fed someone to the 10 Tails, either a random Otsutsuki or Ishiki's lower half. The Divine Tree grew and started taking chakra from everything nearby. People started worshipping it. Kaguya eventually ate the chakra fruit, got godly powers, and put everyone under infinite Tsukuyomi. After having kids with Tenji, Kaguya tried to absorb them. To stop her, she merged with the Divine Tree and became the 10 Tails again. Hagoromo and Hamura defeated her, sealed her on the moon, and left the husk of the 10 Tails there too. But Hagoromo pulled all the 10 Tails' chakra out and sealed it in himself, becoming the first Jinchuriki. When Hagoromo was dying, his son Asura suggested splitting the 10 Tails' chakra into 9 separate beasts. This would make it harder for Kaguya to reclaim all the power if she ever escaped. Hagoromo agreed and created the 9-tailed beasts, using creation of all things jutsu. The 10 Tails has no sentient thought. Kurama said it can't be sensed through negative emotions or chakra, meaning it has no will of its own. It's pure instinct and power. The 10 Tails is called the progenitor of all things on Earth. It made the oceans, raised the mountains, and split the sky. Its power is literally immeasurable. When Naruto tried to sense its chakra using Sage Mode, he found no limit. This thing deflected Gyuki's tailed beast bomb, the strongest of all tailed beast bombs, with one finger. A roar from the 10 Tails sets off natural disasters across entire continents. It can extend roots into the ground to grab people and absorb all their chakra. The 10 Tails has would release Kekkei Genkai naturally. When the bud grows on its head, it releases infinite Tsukuyomi, putting the entire planet under genjutsu while slowly draining everyone's life force. The 10 Tails is beyond the concept of tailed beasts. It's the origin of chakra itself, the source of all life and power in the Naruto world. Nothing compares to it. From Shukaku's sand to the 10 Tails' world-ending power, each tailed beast has a unique story. They were created to bring peace, but humans turned them into weapons. They were feared as monsters, but characters like Naruto proved they could be friends. Shukaku taught us about isolation and anger. Matatabi showed us grace under pressure. Isobu survived trauma and fear. Son Goku represented pride and strength. Kokuo valued solitude and willpower. Saiken just wanted to be left alone. Chomei stayed optimistic despite everything. Gyuki proved that respect earns loyalty. Kurama went from hatred to sacrifice, and the 10 Tails reminded us where it all began. The tailed beasts aren't just power sources, they're living beings with feelings, memories, and bonds. Naruto's journey showed that understanding and friendship matter more than control and fear. That's the real legacy of the tailed beasts. The 7 levels of Naruto's evolution. Level 1. Initial Red Chakra. The Beast Awakens. 12 years before the story begins, the 9-tailed fox attacked the Hidden Leaf Village. The 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, sacrificed his life to seal the beast inside his newborn son Naruto. This seal was supposed to keep the fox contained, locked away where it couldn't harm anyone. But seals can leak, especially when emotions run high. Naruto's first encounter with the Nine-Tails power happened in the Land of Waves, during what should have been a simple C-rank mission. Team 7 was protecting Tazuna, a bridge builder, when they encountered Zabuza and his young accomplice Haku. Kakashi was busy fighting Zabuza, leaving Naruto and Sasuke to face Haku alone. Trapped inside Haku's demonic mirroring ice crystals, they were completely outmatched. Haku's speed was incredible, attacking from every angle with Senbon needles. Naruto and Sasuke were getting beaten down, exhausted, running out of options. Then Haku threw a volley of needles aimed directly at Naruto. Sasuke, despite his rivalry with Naruto, threw himself in front of the attack. He collapsed, seemingly dead. Something snapped inside Naruto. Rage, grief, and desperation flooded through him all at once. For the first time in his life, he unconsciously reached into the seal and pulled out the Nine-Tails chakra. Red energy bubbled around his body like boiling water. His whisker marks became thicker. His eyes turned red with slitted pupils. His canine teeth grew sharper. This wasn't a controlled transformation, it was pure instinct. But the power was undeniable. Naruto's speed and strength increased dramatically. He destroyed Haku's ice mirrors and overwhelmed the young ninja. Inside the seal, the Nine-Tails grinned with delight, finally getting to stretch its power after years of imprisonment. Later, during the Chunin exams, the chakra leaked out again when Naruto fought Neji Hyuga. After Neji had shut down all of Naruto's chakra points with his gentle fist technique, Naruto should have been helpless. But the red chakra burst through, forcing open his chakra network through sheer power. This allowed him to continue fighting and ultimately win. These early manifestations were uncontrolled and dangerous. Naruto didn't understand what was happening or why. He just knew that when he was pushed to his absolute limit, when his emotions overwhelmed him, something inside responded. That something was the Nine-Tails, and it was only getting started. The seal that held it was strong, but emotional trauma could create cracks, and Naruto's journey was about to become much more painful. Level 2. One-Tail Cloak, the first true transformation. After learning from Jiraiya for 3 years, Naruto returned to the Hidden Leaf stronger, faster, and more skilled. But he still didn't truly understand the power inside him. That understanding would begin at the Valley of the End, during his first real confrontation with Sasuke Uchiha, since his best friend had abandoned the village. Sasuke had gained the cursed seal from Orochimaru, a mark that dramatically increased his power when activated. In the final stage of the cursed seal, Sasuke was transformed dark skin, webbed hands, and power that put him far above Naruto's normal abilities. Their battle shook the valley. Naruto threw everything he had at Sasuke, every technique, every ounce of strength, but it wasn't enough. Then Sasuke mocked him. He called Naruto weak. He said Naruto could never understand his pain. The words cut deeper than any kunai. Naruto's desperation, his need to bring Sasuke back, his refusal to give up all of it reached into the seal. The red chakra didn't just bubble around him this time. It formed a cloak. The one-tail cloak completely covered Naruto's body in dense orange-red chakra. Behind him, a single tail of pure energy formed and swayed. His eyes were completely red with vertical slits. His nails became claws. His voice deepened and became more animalistic. This was the first time Naruto took on a form that resembled the beast inside him, even if only slightly. The power boost was incredible. Naruto's Rasengan now had enough force to match Sasuke's Chidori. When he punched, shockwaves erupted. When he roared, the ground trembled. Even the fully matured Sharingan had difficulty tracking his movements. Sasuke, in his cursed seal transformation, was being pushed to his limit. This form is what fans call version 1, a chakra cloak that enhances all of the user's physical abilities without completely transforming them into the beast. The cloak itself is protective, deflecting attacks and burning anyone who touches it, but it comes with a cost. The longer Naruto stayed in this form, the more influence the Nine-Tails had over him. His personality became more aggressive, more savage. During this fight, Naruto and Sasuke's final clash, Rasengan against Chidori, created an explosion that carved through the valley. Neither won decisively, but both were changed forever. For Naruto, this was proof that the Nine-Tails' power was real, tangible, and incredibly dangerous. It was also proof that he needed to learn control, because power without control was just another form of weakness. Level 3. Three Tails version 1, Losing Control. After Sasuke left the village, Naruto trained obsessively with Jiraiya for nearly 3 years. He learned new techniques, grew stronger, and matured. But during this time, Jiraiya also weakened the seal just slightly, making it easier for Naruto to access the Nine-Tails' chakra. This was meant to help Naruto tap into that power when needed. Instead, it created a problem: the fox could influence him more easily. When Naruto returned to the Hidden Leaf at age 15, the Akatsuki immediately targeted him. These rogue ninjas were hunting all the tailed beasts, and the Nine-Tails was the most powerful of them all. During the mission to rescue Gaara, the Kazekage, and One-Tail's Jinchuriki, Naruto encountered Deidara, an Akatsuki member who used explosive clay. Deidara had just helped capture Gaara, and now he was taunting Naruto, calling Gaara weak, and dismissing the Jinchuriki as nothing but weapons. Something inside Naruto snapped. His anger wasn't just about Deidara's words, it was about everything. The loneliness he'd felt as a Jinchuriki, the way people looked at him with fear, the pain of being a weapon in everyone's eyes. The red chakra exploded outward. This time, it wasn't just one tail. 3 tails formed behind him, each one writhing with malicious energy. His chakra cloak became denser, more oppressive. The ground beneath him cracked from the pressure. His teammates watched in horror as Naruto transformed into something that barely resembled their friend. In this 3 tails form, Naruto completely lost control. He didn't recognize allies from enemies. He attacked on pure instinct and rage. His body moved with frightening speed, and his strength was monstrous. Kakashi had to physically restrain him, and even then, it was dangerous. The chakra itself was corrosive, burning Kakashi's hands through his gloves. This was the first time Naruto's friends truly understood the danger he carried inside him. The Nine-Tails wasn't just a source of power, it was a malevolent force trying to break free. Every time Naruto accessed more tails, he gave the fox more influence. With 3 tails, Naruto's consciousness was almost completely suppressed. He was acting on the Nine-Tails' instincts, not his own. The transformation ended when Naruto exhausted the chakra, leaving him collapsed and unconscious. When he woke up, he had no memory of what happened. His teammates wouldn't tell him the full truth, afraid of how he'd react. But Naruto could see it in their eyes: fear. They were afraid of him, or rather, of what he could become. This realization haunted him, planting the seed that would eventually drive him to truly master the Nine-Tails, rather than just borrowing its power. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Level 4, 4 Tails version 2, the monster emerges. After the mission to rescue Gaara, Naruto learned that Sasuke was with Orochimaru. Intel led them to a location called Tenchi Bridge, where one of Orochimaru's spies was supposed to meet them. Instead, they encountered Orochimaru himself, one of the legendary Sannin and one of the most dangerous men alive. Orochimaru was toying with Team Kakashi, completely overwhelming them. He was faster, stronger, and had decades of experience. When he summoned a massive serpent and started attacking, Naruto watched helplessly as his teammates were thrown around like rag dolls. The frustration built inside him. He was supposed to be stronger. He'd trained for 3 years. But he still couldn't protect anyone. Then Orochimaru made a mistake. He mentioned Sasuke, mocking Naruto for being too weak to bring him back. That was all it took. The seal cracked, and this time, 4 tails erupted from Naruto's back. But this wasn't version 1 anymore. This was version 2. Instead of a red chakra cloak, Naruto's body became covered in dark red and black chakra that bubbled and burned like acid. His skin began to peel away from the corrosive energy. Blood dripped from his body as the chakra literally burned him from the inside out. This wasn't enhancement, it was transformation. Naruto was becoming the Nine-Tails. His face extended into a muzzle. His hands became claws. He moved on all 4s like an animal. The most terrifying part? There was no trace of Naruto left. The Nine-Tails was in complete control, using Naruto's body as a puppet. The beast's only goal was destruction and freedom. The power was astronomical. Orochimaru, a man who'd fought and survived countless battles, was suddenly on the defensive. 4 Tails Naruto moved with blinding speed and attacked with savage fury. Every swipe of his claws tore through earth and stone. When he opened his mouth and began gathering red and blue chakra for a tailed beast bomb, even Orochimaru realized he needed to retreat. But the true danger became clear when the Nine-Tails turned its attention to the closest living thing, Sakura. She tried to approach Naruto, calling his name, begging him to come back. The Ninetales didn't recognize her. It swung its clawed hand, and if Yamato hadn't created a wood barrier, Sakura would have died instantly. Yamato, a ninja with the rare ability to use wood style, was the only one who could suppress the Ninetales' chakra. He used his technique to forcibly seal Naruto back to normal. When Naruto regained consciousness, he saw the devastation he'd caused. The land was torn apart, his friends were injured, and Sakura looked at him with tears in her eyes, not from pain, but from fear. This was Naruto's lowest point. He realized that the power he'd been relying on was killing him, endangering his friends, and giving control to the monster inside. Something had to change. He couldn't keep walking this path, or eventually, there would be nothing left of Naruto Uzumaki, only the nine-tailed fox. Level 5, Six Tails, the breaking point. The Pain invasion was the darkest moment in the Hidden Leaf's history. Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, arrived with 6 bodies, each possessing godlike powers. He destroyed the village in minutes, killing thousands. Buildings crumbled, ninja fell. The entire village was reduced to rubble with a single devastating technique. Naruto was training on Mount Myoboku with the toads when he learned of the attack. He rushed back immediately, using Sage Mode, a powerful technique he'd mastered through intense training. Sage Mode gave him incredible strength, speed, and sensory abilities. For a while, it seemed like he might actually defeat Pain. But Pain had 6 bodies, each with different abilities. As Naruto fought, he learned the terrible truth these bodies were his former friend Nagato's creations, controlled from a distance. The battle was intense. Naruto destroyed several of Pain's bodies using strategy and raw power. He was winning. Victory was in sight. Then Pain captured Hinata Hyuga. Hinata, the girl who had loved Naruto since childhood, saw him pinned to the ground by Pain's chakra rods. Despite knowing she had no chance of winning, despite understanding she would likely die, Hinata stepped forward. She confessed her love to Naruto, then attacked Pain to protect him. Pain killed her with a single strike. Naruto watched Hinata's body fall. Everything inside him shattered. The girl who believed in him when no one else did. The person who saw him not as a monster, but as a hero. She was gone, dead, because of him. The rage, grief, and hatred that flooded through Naruto was beyond anything he'd ever felt. The seal exploded. 6 tails of dark chakra erupted from Naruto's back. His body transformed completely, skin burning away, bones cracking and reshaping. This was beyond version 2. This was Naruto almost becoming the Nine Tails itself. The chakra was so dark red it was almost black. His roar shook the entire destroyed village. In this form, Naruto had no consciousness left. The Nine Tails was in full control, and it was furious. Pain's remaining bodies were nothing. The Diva Path, Pain's strongest body, was thrown around like a toy. The Nine Tails grabbed it and slammed it into the ground repeatedly. When Pain tried to use his gravity techniques, Six Tails Naruto simply overpowered them through sheer force. The most terrifying moment came when the Nine Tails began forming a tailed beast bomb. This attack, if completed, would have destroyed everything the village, Pain, and everyone still alive. Pain was forced to use his ultimate technique, Chibaku Tensei, creating a massive gravitational sphere that pulled everything into it, trying to trap the Nine Tails. The Nine Tails responded by growing stronger. Its rage pushed it toward manifesting an 8th tail. At 8 tails, the transformation was almost complete. Naruto's body was gone, replaced by the Nine Tails' actual form muscular structure. Teeth, eyes, and spine all visible, missing only fur and skin. One more tail and the seal would have broken completely. The Nine Tails would have been free, and Naruto would have died. Then, something impossible happened. Naruto's consciousness found itself inside the seal, face to face with the Nine Tails. Before the beast could taunt him, someone else appeared, Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, Naruto's father. Minato had placed a remnant of his chakra inside the seal as a failsafe, activating only if Naruto was about to unleash the 9th tail. Father and son met for the first time. Minato restored the seal, pulling Naruto back from the brink. He told Naruto about the night of his birth, why he'd sealed the Nine Tails inside his own son, and how much he believed in him. This encounter changed everything. Naruto understood that the Nine Tails' power wasn't meant to be stolen or forced, it needed to be mastered. When Naruto woke up, Pain's attack was stopped. Hinata was alive, only knocked unconscious, but Naruto knew he'd come within a hair's breadth of destroying everything. He'd nearly let the Nine Tails win. That couldn't happen again. If he wanted to protect everyone, if he wanted to become Hokage, he needed to face the beast inside him properly. Not as an enemy, not as a tool, but as something he could truly control. Level 6. Ninetales Chakra Mode, the Golden Warrior. Everything changed after Naruto's encounter with his father. He realized the truth: he couldn't keep borrowing the Ninetales' power through anger and desperation. That path led to destruction. If he wanted to truly master this power, he needed to confront Kurama directly and take its chakra by force, not through emotion, but through strength of will. Killer Bee, the Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails, agreed to train Naruto. Unlike Naruto, Bee had a partnership with his tailed beast. They worked together, respected each other. Bee took Naruto to a secret location called the Island Turtle, where Naruto would undergo the most important trial of his life. First, Naruto faced himself at the Falls of Truth. The waterfall reflected his inner darkness, all his hatred, jealousy, and negative emotions. Dark Naruto emerged, trying to convince him that the world had only brought him pain. But Naruto defeated his dark self by accepting those feelings rather than denying them. He embraced his own darkness and thanked it for making him who he was. With his inner darkness conquered, Naruto entered his own subconscious to face the Ninetales directly. Inside the seal, he found himself in a massive sewer with a cage holding Kurama. The fox was enormous, terrifying, and furious. It had spent decades imprisoned, treated as a weapon, hated by everyone. Now this kid wanted to take its power? The battle began. Naruto, using Sage Mode, fought against the Ninetales with everything he had. But he wasn't trying to kill it or suppress it. He was trying to pull out its chakra and claim it as his own. Kurama fought back viciously, trying to overwhelm Naruto with hatred and malice. The fox planted its hatred inside the chakra it gave to Naruto, trying to corrupt him. Just when Naruto was about to be consumed, a chakra imprint of his mother, Kushina Uzumaki, appeared. Kushina had been the previous Jinchuriki of the Ninetales. She told Naruto the full story: how she'd been taken from her home to be a Jinchuriki, how she'd hated her life, how Minato had saved her. She used her adamantine sealing chains, a special technique of the Uzumaki clan, to bind Kurama completely. With the fox restrained, Naruto reached into the cage and ripped out Kurama's chakra. Not all of it, Kurama was too strong for that, but a massive portion. The Ninetales roared in fury, but it was too late. Naruto had won. He'd taken the chakra by force, making it his own. When Naruto emerged from his subconscious, his body was coated in brilliant golden chakra. His appearance had completely changed. The red, violent chakra of before was gone, replaced by a warm, glowing aura that flickered like flames. Black markings appeared on his shoulders and back. 6 Magatama symbols formed around his neck like a necklace. 2 horns sprouted from his head. His eyes became orange with plus-sign-shaped pupils. This was Ninetales Chakra Mode, also called Kurama Chakra Mode, or KCM. It was the first transformation where Naruto wasn't borrowing power through anger, he owned this chakra. It was his. The power increase was beyond anything he'd achieved before. His speed was so fast he could dodge the Raikage, the fastest ninja alive. His strength let him deflect a tailed beast bomb with a single chakra arm. He could sense negative emotions from miles away. The golden chakra wasn't corrosive like the red version. It didn't hurt Naruto or his friends. He could form chakra arms from his body, creating multiple limbs to grab, punch, or defend from any angle. He could share this chakra with others, giving them enhanced abilities. The form was efficient too, unlike the wild transformations before. This one didn't drain his stamina nearly as quickly. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Naruto in this form became a one-man army. He fought against the entire Akatsuki. He saved countless shinobi. He gave hope to warriors who'd been ready to die. The Golden Warrior became a symbol proof that the Jinchuriki weren't monsters, but heroes. But there was still one problem. Naruto had taken Kurama's chakra by force. The fox still hated him, still wanted freedom. Their relationship was one of captor and prisoner. Naruto had power, but not partnership, and without that partnership, he couldn't access Kurama's full strength. That final step would require something Naruto had spent his whole life fighting for: mutual understanding and respect. Level 7, Kurama Mode, the perfect partnership. Having Kurama's chakra was one thing. Having Kurama's cooperation was something else entirely. For most of the Fourth Great Ninja War, Naruto fought using the chakra he'd taken by force. It was powerful, but incomplete. The Nine-Tails still hated him, still saw him as just another human trying to use its power. Everything changed during the battle against the Ten-Tails and Obito Uchiha. The situation was desperate. The entire Shinobi Alliance was losing. Naruto was giving everything he had, but it wasn't enough. He needed more power. He needed Kurama's full cooperation. Inside the seal, Naruto had a conversation with Kurama. Not a fight, not a demand, a conversation. He talked about how they'd both been alone, both been hated, both been treated as monsters. He talked about how he'd spent his entire life trying to gain recognition, just like Kurama had spent decades trapped and dismissed as nothing but a weapon. Naruto told Kurama that he didn't see the fox as a beast or a tool. He saw Kurama as a person. Someone who'd been hurt, someone who'd been used, someone who deserved better. And then Naruto did something no one had ever done before. He reached his hand through the bars of the cage and asked Kurama to be his friend. The Nine-Tails, this ancient being of pure chakra who'd existed for centuries, was shocked. No one had ever called it a friend before. Humans had only ever feared it or tried to control it. Even Minato, who'd respected the beast, had still sealed it away. But here was this kid, the son of the man who imprisoned it, offering genuine friendship. Kurama's response was simple. The fox bumped its massive fist against Naruto's hand. "You finally called me by my name, you foolish child." The seal was removed. Not broken, willingly opened. Kurama stood beside Naruto as a partner, not a prisoner. The transformation was immediate. Naruto's chakra cloak changed from the translucent golden form to a solid, radiant avatar. He no longer looked like himself coated in chakra. He looked like Kurama itself, shrunk down to human size. The power was incomprehensible. This wasn't just Naruto using Kurama's chakra. This was both of them working together, combining their strengths. With full Kurama mode active, Naruto could create a giant replica of the Nine-Tails, a massive fox-shaped avatar of pure chakra that stood as tall as mountains. Inside this avatar, Naruto could float in the head, like a pilot, directing its movements while still having access to all his own techniques. The avatar could create tailed beast bombs, massive spheres of compressed chakra that could obliterate entire landscapes. But what made this form truly special was the healing ability. Anyone who entered Kurama's chakra cloak would have their injuries healed and their chakra restored. During the war, Naruto shared this chakra with the entire Shinobi Alliance, thousands of warriors, giving them all enhanced strength and protection. It was like having the Nine-Tails fighting alongside every single person. Naruto later combined this form with Six Paths Sage Mode, a divine power granted by the Sage of Six Paths himself. This combination created an even more powerful version, with 9 truth-seeking orbs floating behind him and the ability to sense and counter nearly any attack. When he needed even more power, Naruto could merge his Kurama avatar with Sasuke's Susanoo, creating the ultimate combined technique. The partnership with Kurama represented everything Naruto stood for, turning enemies into friends, never giving up on people, and finding strength through bonds rather than through hatred. The monster that destroyed the Hidden Leaf Village became its greatest protector. The beast that everyone feared became a hero. In later years, this bond would be tested again. When Naruto fought Ishiki Otsutsuki, a godlike alien threatening to destroy everything, he and Kurama would unlock one final desperate transformation called Baryon Mode. This form merged their chakra on a molecular level, creating power that surpassed even the gods. But it came at a terrible cost: Kurama's life. In their final moments together, Kurama thanked Naruto for treating the beast as a friend, something it had never experienced before. From prisoner to partner, from monster to hero, from the Nine-Tails to Kurama, that transformation wasn't just about power, it was about two lonely beings finding understanding and friendship in each other. That's what made this level different from all the others. It wasn't just Naruto getting stronger, it was Naruto and Kurama becoming something greater together than either could ever be alone. The journey from monster to hero. From the terrified boy who accidentally tapped into red chakra while watching his friend die, to the legendary ninja who befriended the most powerful tailed beast, Naruto's journey with the Nine-Tails defined his entire life. Each transformation taught him something crucial. The initial red chakra showed him the power existed, but was dangerous. The One-Tail Cloak proved that power alone wasn't enough to save those he loved. The Three Tails transformation revealed how easily he could lose himself. The Four Tails form demonstrated that uncontrolled power hurt everyone, including himself. The Six Tails incident nearly destroyed everything and forced him to confront the truth he needed to master this power, not just use it. Nine Tails Chakra Mode represented taking that power by force, claiming what belonged to him. But Kurama Mode, the final evolution, represented something deeper, earning power through trust, respect, and friendship. It proved that the strongest bonds aren't forged through force, but through mutual understanding. Naruto's evolution mirrors the show's central theme. He was born with the Nine Tails inside him, through no choice of his own. Everyone saw him as a monster, but he refused to become what they feared. Instead, he proved that even the greatest curse could become the greatest blessing if you never gave up on yourself or the people around you. The red chakra that once represented rage and hatred became golden light that saved the world. The monster that destroyed the village became the power that protected it, and the lonely boy everyone feared became the hero everyone believed in. That's the story of Naruto's 7 levels of evolution, from accidentally touching the demon's power to standing as an equal partner with a legendary beast, from being controlled by the Nine Tails to controlling his own destiny, from Naruto the outcast to Naruto the Hokage. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.